OMG. So I hadn't turned the mic on. Okay, so let's do that again. Hello and welcome to the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio Show. And what's the name of this particular show? Okay, it's Martin gives Anderson a scare. Whyte signs for Joshua. Makhmudov destroys. Okay. Yes. I just found out. But thanks for the due diligence. OMG. Okay. So let's do the sound check now that we actually have sound. So hold on. So that whole thing must have been, you didn't hear the music intro. It was just blank. OMG. Terrible. Yes. I just found out. But thanks for the due diligence. Let me have a listen to the earlier part. Okay, so it was like a silent movie. It was like a silent movie. Oh, Lord. For 5 minutes. Probably more. Oh, but that came through. Okay, so you got the intro, but other than that, then it went silent. Oh, Lord. Dawkins Combat Radio Show. Lord have mercy. Okay, we're there now. Hey, listen. It could have been worse. I could have done a whole damn show without the mic on. OMG. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Raphael's back to business. Okay. Dang. Okay. Minor hiccup. We recover from these things, small things. You know what I mean? Okay. So let's get into this shizzle. Shiznix. Where are we gonna start? Where do we begin? Okay, let's do the roll call. It's the Philip Khan Roberts. That was from last night when the Rafi was supposed to go live, but the Rafi fell asleep. Woke up around 2 hours after around 1 hour 45 minutes after the noted start date. Noted ain't the right word. What's the right word? The advertised start time. Rafi fell asleep. OMG. Sorry, peeps. I fell asleep. We ride Tuesday. And that's today. So we're doing it. It's the Bizzle up in the building. It's the Leon Figures. Yes. Working, so can't join the panel, but listening attentively. Marveloso. Appreciated. No sound. Thank you, Malcolm. We got there. And Bruce, Gas, Boxing, and Jazz, and more up in the building. Okay, welcome to everybody up in the building right about now. The UGC Flame up in the building. Hello and welcome, one and all. Okay, so where do we begin? Hello and welcome. Hope everybody's good. It's got a bit chilly. Rafi's got the hoodie on again. It's gonna be chilly over here. It has been very nice weather for the last couple of months, but a little bit chilly, but it's okay. At least it ain't raining. Okay, so what we're looking at, what we're talking about. Where do we begin? I I think I know exactly where we begin. Let me get the video up. Let me get the video up. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Oop, there it is. Okay, let's drop that down. Let's share my screen. What is that? Okay. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Okay. So let's turn this music down just a tad. We don't want no distractions. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. So let's get into it. So over the weekend, as a matter of fact, let me change the music. It's not fitting my mood. That's better. That's much better. Okay. A little bit ominous. A little bit ominous. Okay. So, is this where I begin? Is this where I'm starting? Is this where I'm starting? Is this where I'm starting? Okay. I got a feeling I should start with Canelo versus Jamel. I got a feeling I should start with Canelo versus Jamel. Yeah. That's my instinct. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to follow my instinct. We're going to start with Jamel Charlo versus... Yeah. That's my instinct. Okay, let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. You warm in with this. You should warm in with this. Let's share. Boom. 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 Okay, much better. Much better. Let me take a swig of my drink. Okay, so it was noted, it was advertised, it was posted that Canelo Alvarez, this was last week, had signed a 3-fight deal with the PBC. I don't think we talked about this live. I think I did a video. Did I do a video? Yeah, I did a video. We haven't talked about it live, so now is as good a time as any. So it's posted that Canelo had a 3-fight deal with the PBC, and his first fight was going to be with Jamal Charlo. That's Big Charlo. Now, people scratched their heads and said, well, Jamal has been out of the ring for 2 years. 2 years already. But then, so why the hell is he going to be fighting Canelo when he's been out of the ring, inactive for 2 years already? And by the time they get in the ring, it'll probably be more closer to two years and what? Where are we? June, July, August, September. It's probably going to be 2 years and a third. So you're saying, well, how the hell does that make any sense? We were just hearing Jamal Charlo talking to Demetrius Andrade on an Instagram live, trying to make a fight together, agreeing to fight together. And that kind of made sense. That kind of made sense coming back. Get an opponent in. Kind of made sense. Okay. We accepted that. But then comes the news that no, Canelo had chosen Jamal Charlo. That's Big Charlo for his first fight on the PBC contract. And we thought there was much muttering. Some people said, yeah, I like that fight. I like that fight. Others like myself say, what the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? Does this really make any sense? But on the flip side of that, Jamal is going through some issues at home. The wife and the 5 kids. Seems like they're separated. Called his wife, called the police. Apparently he was the victim of domestic abuse. That's after having some other problems, which the WBC say was mental issues. Charlo had mental issues. Jamal, big Charlo. Okay, so he's out with home issues and mental issues. Okay, but then the Charlo fight was made. It was advertised. Well, was it advertised? It was spoken of. Then I think it was the latter part of last week. When it was announced. It was officially announced. How many days ago was this? 3 days. 3 days ago. 3 days ago. It was posted up on Canelo Alvarez's official Instagram. It's got the blue tick. Look for the blue tick. And likewise on Jamel, the lighter Charlo, little Charlo, is posted up on his official Instagram also that the fight, Canelo's first fight, was not with Jamal Charlo. It was Jamel, little Charlo. And that was even more surprising. It's like, what the hell? That's not much better, if better at all. This cat's 2 weight divisions lighter than Canelo himself. So he thought, well, what the hell's going on there? So dug a little deeper, and it turns out that, well, it wasn't much better still, because he's been out with a broken hand or whatever. Broken hand healed. And he's been out for 18 months. 18 months. So by the time they get into the ring, it's like, well, dang. It ain't much better. He's been inactive for less time than his big brother. But still, how is this ideal? Is this ideal? Going up 2 weight classes. When was the last time you heard of somebody going up 2 weight classes and winning the belt from the bigger guy? You know what they say? A good big un will always beat a good little un. That's what they say over here in the UK. So what are the prospects? What are the prospects for Lil Charlo? Jamel, not Jamal, Jamel, emerging victorious from this bout with Canelo Alvarez. When's the date? Scheduled for September the 13th in Las Vegas. That was the last time we saw Canelo in Las Vegas. I think it was against Beaver, light heavyweight champion. And Bivol, I think most people, including myself, only gave Canelo 2 rounds. 2 rounds out of that fight. But yet, that fight in Las Vegas. But yet, on the judges' scorecards, they had Canelo they had Bivol only 2 rounds. Generally, only 2 rounds ahead of Canelo. So you can't beat Canelo in Las Vegas, and it almost proved to be true for Bivol. Although he pretty much won 10 rounds by general consensus. He pretty much won 10 rounds out of the 12. And even then, he only beat Charlo by a slim margin. So what chance does Jamel have? What kind of chance does Jamel stand? Little Charlo, been out to the ring for 18 months, coming off an injury too. What chance does Jamel Charlo have of winning that fight? know what I mean? Actually beating Charlo. I mean, it's 2 fights. You got to beat Charlo, and then you've got to get a fair shake with the judges. What are the chances of that in Las Vegas? Well, I mean, I pretty much laid it out. Let's do a poll. What's the poll? What's the question? Who wins? Well, what's the chance of Mel winning or being given the nod, even if he does win? That's a good point. That's a good point. I think the last person to go up a couple of divisions and take the belt was Canelo against Sergey Kovalev. That's a good point. But Sergey is a light heavyweight, is he not? And Canelo Alvarez, he fights at super middleweight, does he not? Let's have a look at my list. Where does he have belts? Super middleweight. Middleweight is Jamel Charlo for the WBC. WBA's Erislandy Lara. IBF vacant. WBO Yanni Alim Connolly. So I think Canelo Alvarez went up one weight class, maybe, but let's double check on that. Let's have a little looky. Canelo Alvarez, fighter, active, submit, no people found. Oh my gosh, no people found. Why does it do this to me? Who else did he fight? Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez using the weight class. Let's have a look. Daniel Jacobs. Daniel Jacobs, fighter, active. Miracle Man. Okay, there we go. Let's have a look. Saul Alvarez. Saul. That's why it doesn't come up. Okay, Saul Alvarez. Alias Canelo. Saul. Okay, let's bring that down and let's have a little looky. Sergey Kovalev. Before that, he fought Daniel Oh yeah, because he fought at middleweight, and then he went up to light heavy. Yeah, so that was two weight divisions. Went up 2 weight divisions for his previous fight. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, but the fight before that was at super middle against Rocky Fielding. And then his fight before that was at middle against Gennady Golovkin. And his fight before that was at middle against Gennady Golovkin. And his fight before that was, what is this? Julio Cesar Chavez. guess that would have been middle as well. His fight before that was Liam Smith. Super welterweight. Okay, yeah. So there's a claim there. There is a claim there for Saul Alvarez. Okay. All of his fights since Kovalev have been at super middle, apart from Bivol. Okay. It's good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Let's get out of that and let's get back. Boom. Let's get back to that. Okay, so the poll. Let's do the poll. Where's that? Let's do the poll. Who wins? Who wins? Who wins? Janelle, Charlo, or Canelo Alvarez. I think the poll needs to be a bit more. Just a bit more to it. Well, an auction draw. Jamel. Okay. Do it like that. Brooke got destroyed. Kell Brook got destroyed going up a couple of weight classes to fight Golovkin. Yeah, he got his orbital bone shattered, that's for sure. And he got the other one shattered when he fought Errol Spence, the fight after that. Yeah. Thing is, Canelo has done that two-weight jump thing. It makes it more unlikely for Charlo to do it, in my opinion, because Canelo is comfortable at so many different weights. Yeah, he's done it so many times. Although I get the feeling that Canelo's slowing down now. That's just my personal feeling. As he aged 32, I think he's slowing down now. He's still got the power. But I think he's just slowing down just a tad, just a fraction. Okay, so the poll is up. And what's the time now? Okay, and we are going to get your votes in. So what am I saying about this? I think. Okay, so it's Jamel this time. Some people have said that his next fight might be against Jamal after he's beat Jamel. Then Jamal's going to come in. And then maybe the last fight will be David Benavidez. All that is pure speculation, of course. Nobody knows apart from maybe Canelo and Al Heyman. Maybe even they don't know. They're going to wait to see the lay of the land, I suspect. But get your votes in. I know who I think's going to win. But get your votes in. Okay. Where are we now? Where are we going now? Stop sharing that. As we move, like I say, we're here for a good time. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. Okay. Some people say this made him dizzy. Well, just spin around anti-clockwise. Tap your heels 3 times and spin around anti-clockwise. The Rafi the Rafi actually woke up for this. What was it? 4:30 a.m. in the morning. I think it was a UFC, and I caught a couple of the fights in the UFC. Now I flicked over to this, switched over to this, something like that. Or did this come before the UFC fights? I think this came after. Okay. So we are talking about hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. Okay. We're talking about the Jared Anderson versus Martin. What's his name again? Martin. Charles Martin. Let me close that window. We don't need it no more. 2, 6, 7. Okay, we're good. We're in good shape. So Jared Anderson, 14 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws against Charles Martin, 29 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. Okay. Where do I start with this one? I was watching Anderson v. Martin too. Martin was landing that left too easily. Well, let's get into it. So Martin took the fight on short notice. Apparently 11-day notice, but he had been in training. I hear he's in training regularly. He did a training camp for a fight a couple of months ago. Fight fell through. But one would imagine that he stayed at least ticking over. I imagine it was at least ticking over. That's why he responded to the clarion call to fight Jared Anderson. Apparently the real big baby, Jared Anderson. So he must have been in some kind of shape. Take a fight at 11 days notice unless he's in financial dire straits. And I would imagine after getting that AJ money, I would imagine he's not in financial straits. I certainly hope not. He got a good few mil going up against Joshua. So he should be okay at the very least, unless he's got some crazy spending habits, which we know is not uncommon amongst sportsmen. But you don't look like no Flash Harry, so he should be okay. I don't think he took the fight because he needed the money. I think he took the fight because he was in half decent shape, and Andy Ruiz shows us sometimes that when opportunity knocks, you respond, and you can be greatly rewarded. So one has to imagine that Charles Martin was in semi-decent shape. And I got my scorecards. Do I got my scorecards at hand? Uno momento, mami, slow your tempo. Where is it? No, that ain't it. Okay. Well, Charles Martin only won a couple of rounds. Or maybe even just one round. Jared Anderson, maybe. What did he have some early success? Yeah, had a little bit of early success. Charles Martin was probably offered a decent chunk of change for the last minute step in. Sometimes the offer is just too good to refuse. Hey, that's very possible. Yeah, could have got a chunk of change. It's a PBC guy. Hold on. Is Martin a PBC guy, or Martin fought? Who did he fight? Charles Martin. His last fight was against Luis Ortiz, was it not? Let me just go check this. Luis Ortiz. With a Z though. Luis, is it a Z or Ortiz? Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz, fighter. Where is Luis Ortiz from Cuba? Active. Search. Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is. Let's stop that for a moment. Let's bring up Luis. Let's have a look. Boom. Okay, Luis Ortiz. What's this here? What's gonna happen if I do that? For Andy Ruiz, Charles Martin. Let's go to Charles Martin. Jared Anderson. Okay, Jared Anderson is with Top Rank. We know that. Who's this? Devin Vargas. Vargas stopped standing. Win KO in the 4th round. Before that, he fought Luis Ortiz. Before that, he fought Gerald Washington. Certainly looks like he's fighting PBC guys. Yeah, so could indeed be a PBC guy. I think he's been a PBC guy for a long time, wasn't he? Because he was PBC. He's on under the same umbrella as Deontay Wilder way back in the day. So he's probably always been PBC. Yeah, so but he's fighting on Top Rank. That's interesting. He wanted it. Clearly wanted it. He wanted to be in against Jared, what's that cat's name? Big Baby Anderson, Jared Anderson. Okay. So, yeah, he came out early, and he looks untidy. Charles Martin always looks untidy, but I think he stung Jared Anderson in one of the early rounds. Was it? He could have been the first round. Got him with a good backhand, and I think he staggered. Shame I haven't got my notes with me, my card. He staggered. Hold on, it might be here somewhere. He staggered. Jared Anderson. Where my notes be? Where are my notes? Okay, no problem. Got too many papers here. Gonna have to get these in the shredder. No problem. So staggered Martin early, and I thought, whoa, the crowd was surprised. And it happened a few times early, where Jared Anderson was moving okay, but he was getting staggered every now and then. He was getting peppered with the backhand of Charles Martin. And by the time we got to the 5th round, even though Jared Anderson was winning, he thought, oh, this is interesting. There's some interesting dynamics here. Of course, Jared Anderson, the orthodox, and Charles Martin, the southpaw, often makes for interesting fights. But by the time we got to the 5th round, that round was a clear win for Charles Martin. He really unleashed some heavy backhand leather on Jared Anderson. Matter of fact, let's bring back in the visuals so you can see for yourself. Let's bring back in the visuals. In that 5th round, it's very interesting. You had Jared Anderson in all kinds of trouble with that backhand, and made for a very fascinating fight. But thereafter we saw Charles Martin. I think it's about the 6th round. Charles Martin just took that round off. He just took that round off. He needed to recover from his exertion, from the exertion that his output of the 5th round. That was the 6th round. And then the 7th round, he did a little bit. 8th round, did a little bit, but not much. It was a 10-round fight, wasn't it? I think it was a 10-round fight. Yes, a 10-round fight. So by the time he got to the 10th round, Charles Martin knew that was it. He had to go hell for leather. Obviously, he was suffering. Because his cardio was not there. He didn't really have a training camp for this fight. So the cardio wasn't there. But interestingly, I think it was probably one of the last punches of the final round, the 10th round, when Charles Martin unleashed the left that once again wobbled Jared Anderson. Now, so where does that leave us? Well, it leaves us looking at Jared. Oh, is that the 5th round? This 5th round coming up. We're going to see some of the action. No, we're not going to see any of the action. No? Okay. So where does this leave us? It leaves us looking at Jared and realizing that Jared is a work in progress. How old is he? Jared Anderson, I think he's about 23 years of age, 6'4", 78-inch reach. What's Charles Martin's reach? 80-inch reach for Charles Martin, 6'5". Jared Anderson, 6'4", 78.5-inch reach, 23 years of age, 15-0. I think it's fair to say that Jared Anderson, the last punch. It was the last punch that rocked Anderson. It did. He was lucky that it was right at the end. The last punch of the last round. Charles Martin went hell for leather. He had to try something, and he did try something. You know, he could argue, why didn't he do it earlier? He would argue, well, I did it earlier in the 5th. I did it earlier in some of the early rounds. I just didn't have the gas. But I will counter and say this. Charles Martin throws some of the ugliest punches that I have witnessed in the game. Charles Martin, these punches are technically terrible. Absolutely terrible. Technically, the technique is horrible. The execution is horrible. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. Check the ballistics. He's KO'd. How many people has he KO'd? 26. He's KO'd. What is his KO ratio? He's got a 76% KO ratio. So I'm not saying he don't hit hard, and I'm not saying he hasn't got a heavy punch, but his technique is absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. So when he does get those knockouts, you have to credit him because he's not doing it economically. He's not doing it biomechanically correctly. Even his jab is terrible. Everything. The jab is terrible technically. When he throws his backhand, he leaves himself open. So technically, Martin is technically horrible. And you say, well, okay, but he's still got 26 KOs out of 29 wins. Yeah, I'll give you that. But what if he was technically sound, or technically more sound, technically more correct? If you have better technique, you have better execution. So, yeah, credit to the fella. Credit to the fella for getting 26 KOs out of 29 wins. But his technique is absolutely horrible. And because his technique is so horrible, it's going to gas him even quicker. Because better technique equals more efficiency. Better efficiency. Better efficiency, the more gas you can save. When you're lunging and throwing and poor form, it saps the energy even more so than you would do with good technique. So is there even any point in saying that when the man's 37 years of age, and we'll be hanging them up, one would imagine, any day soon? But he's gone through his whole career with this horrible, absolute horrible throwing technique. Absolutely horrible. Once again, you know, it makes me cast my mind back to the early days. The early days when you're learning to fight. Those early days, coaches, they have a lot of responsibility. They have a lot of responsibility to get your technique right. But if they don't do their due diligence, you end up with someone like what's the Polish sausage name? What's the Polish sausage name? The heavyweight who just lost last week. The Polish guy from Brooklyn, New York. You end up holding your chin up, no defense. So those early coaches, they're so key. They're crucial. They can be crucial to the development of a fighter. And what I see in Charles Martin is someone who just was not taught how to throw punches correctly. Makes you wonder if he'd had better tutelage in his early days, how much better he could have been. Kawanaki, there's the fella, Kawanaki. Absolutely makes you want to talk to his original trainers. What the hell did you teach him? What the hell did you teach him? You know, I'd like to interview Kawanaki's early trainer. I'd like to interview the early trainers for these guys who get to such a high level with horrible technique, horrible schooling. Horrible schooling. But let's talk about Jared Anderson then. Jared Anderson, 1-2. Jared Anderson, is he no good now? Because Charles Martin kind of made him give him a few good shots, made him stiffen up a little bit, made him, you know, give him a few shots that he felt. Does it mean that Jared Anderson is no good? No, I don't share that view or feeling. No. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, folks. I don't share that feeling. Jared Anderson, in the famous words of Finkel, Shelley Finkel, when he spoke of Deontay Wilder, who was at something like 30 fights at that time, he said, Deontay's just a baby. When they were asking about Deontay Wilder fighting, was it Vitaly? I think it was Vitaly Klitschko. He said, Deontay's just a baby. And that was something like 30 fights. Is that right? Well, Big Baby Miller is on, or is it 14 fights? Not Miller. Jared Anderson, Big Baby Anderson, is on 15 fights. That was his 15th fight. So he truly is just a baby in the game. And as such, it's got a lot of developing to do. You don't want to move in too fast. This is just the right pacing. Now. Now, who do you want to match him against? Where are we? You want to look at, who is that? Charles Martin. Charles Martin beat Jerry Forrest in 2 rounds. Dang, Jerry Forrest falling off. Jerry Forrest, in my opinion, beat Zhilei Zhang. Or was at least a draw. Zhilei Zhang. Oh, yeah, draw. They ruled out a draw. But to me, Jerry Forrest beat him. He was ruled a draw. So Jerry Forrest, who beat Zhilei Zhang, got let's have a look at this. Make sure I'm getting this right. No, it wasn't Charles Martin who beat Jerry Forrest in 2 rounds. It was Jared Anderson who beat Jerry Forrest in 2 rounds. Okay. Let me go over to Charles Martin. Who's he beat recently of note? Okay. So Charles Martin lost to Luis Ortiz by TKO, 6-round TKO. I think I covered that fight. Luis Ortiz turned Charles Martin into a statue. Just punched him, standing statue. Like what happened to Terry Harper against the Baumgardner. Same way Baumgardner turned Terry Harper into a pillar of salt. There's a similar way that Luis Ortiz turned Jared Anderson into a pillar of salt too. Yeah, that was poor referee, and referee was standing right there. Let him starch him standing up. Okay, so is Ortiz a bit soon? It's a bit soon to put Jared Anderson in with Ortiz. Would it be cool? Would it be cool to put Jared Anderson in with Adam Kawanaki? Well, I don't know, because Charles Martin lost to Kawanaki. When was that though? That was 2018. OMG. My. 2018. That seemed like it was just yesterday. That was 5 years ago. OMG. So who do you want to see? Who do you think would be a good fight for Jared Anderson? Anderson is young. He needed that step up. It's part of the development process, indeed. Wizard Sleeve up in the building. How do you do? Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. Martin put Ortiz twice down too. Dang. It's got me wondering, who's a good matchup for Jared Anderson? Okay, well, first things first, let's come out of that. Who's the next few fights for Jared Anderson? Let's come out of that. Am I still sharing? OMG. Stop sharing. let's get back into the main page so I can see what's going on with the poll. Let's get back into that. See what's going on with the poll. Okay, let's close the poll. Let's close the poll. And let's show the poll. Okay, so what does it say? Draw. Who wins? Canelo or Jamel Charlo? Jamel Charlo, Lil Charlo. Okay, so the draw, 0% said the draw. Jamel Charlo, 0% said Jamel Charlo. Canelo, 100%. So it's very strange when you have a fight when everybody, a championship fight, it's called undisputed. Undisputed versus undisputed. It's very strange when you have an undisputed versus undisputed fight and 100% of the populace think that one cat is going to win. It's going to be one cat winning. That is most, and that's problematic. That's problematic. That's probably one of the problems with this thing. It's one of the problems with this thing that most people have only one person winning, and that's Saul Canelo Alvarez. Talking about Jamel Charlo bulking up for Canelo bulking up. What do you mean bulking up? How you mean bulking up? Are you going back down in weight? You're going back down in weight after you have this fight? Don't make no sense. You're bulking up. Why are you bulking up? It's going up and down in weight, man. You might as well just stay up. So you and your brother are going to be at middleweight now. Anyway, we'll have to see how Jamel Charlo looks at super middle. Coming up from junior middle, going up 2 weight categories to super middle. OMG. OMG. Okay. All right, let me take a sip of what's in my cup. What's going on there? '21st century. '21st century hunt for a decent heavyweight continues. OMG. OMG. Decent heavyweight. Well, for those who have not checked out my latest video, you can do this after the show. Remember, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. So hit that like button. Smash it. Smash it. What's going on? BBC are looking for PPV sales with that fight. You got 2 big fan bases. The BBC fan base, the Mexican and the Mexican-American fan base. I don't know if the BBC fan base is big though. I don't know if the BBC fan base is big though, but hey, they can occasionally get big numbers if they got the right dance partner. And so, yeah, it's very possible. Very possible they might get some nice numbers for that. Well, I'll still watch. I'll still watch. What's this here? El Gramas, Takam or Ariola? I say Takam. Although Ariola did put Ruiz on his ass. Chris Ariola did put Andreas the Punch Ruiz on his ass. And he ain't saying now. Canelo can't draw flies. Well, I think he does pretty well, doesn't he? He does do pretty well, don't he? Does pretty well. What we saying? Where are we? And what we saying? Yeah. So, Jared Anderson. We're talking about Jared Anderson. Yeah. So, yeah, he's coming along. He's a young cat. Coming along. Just gotta ease him. You gotta be easy with him. He's developing. He's a developing fighter. You don't want to rush him too quick and end up with problems. You don't want to do that. Because he already fought. Fought Charles Martin. Unanimous decision. Jerry Forrest knocked him out in 2. TKO'd him in 2. Let's have a look at Charles Martin. It's always good to have scalp one of your opponents. One of the guys your opponents faced. Adam Kawanaki. Might be. What? Do you put Jared Anderson in with Kawanaki? Luis Ortiz. Is he ready for Luis Ortiz? I don't know. It's another southpaw, and that's a risky fight. I think you got to be easy. Let me pull up the top. Heavyweights. Let's have a look. Top 30 heavyweights. Let's pull that up. Where are we? How many windows you got open? 2, 6, 8. Let's pull that up and let's show that. Yeah, we're looking at opponents for Anderson. Rafi turning match. What do you call it? Matchup guy. Rafi's turning matchup guy. Let's get that a little bit bigger so you can see that I can see. Okay, that look a little bit better. Let's go. Start at the bottom. Well, Tony Yoka's on 11. Oh, there we go. Big fight. Will Tony Yoka take it? Remember Tony Yoka, Olympic gold medalist? Say there was some irregularities with the scoring, and that Joe Joyce should have got gold. That's being disputed now. Joe Joyce may indeed get gold. He may get the gold that he deserved. So Tony Yoka, yes. Tony Yoka's 11, 2 losses. Remember his last loss, his first loss, professional loss, was to Martin Bakoli in the ring. And his second loss was to Carlos Takam, OMG. And there's Takam right there, 40 fights, 40 wins, 7 losses and 1 draw. I'm saying Tony Yoka, put Tony Yoka on the short list. As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Why don't I give the people a little treat? Start to poll. Who next for Jared Anderson? I'm really proud of myself. I'm writing on a keyboard where a few of the digits, the letters have rubbed off. So I'm just guessing where they are. Who next for Jared Anderson? Let's do this. So my first pick is Tony Yoka. Gonna get the picks in. Tony Yoka. First pick is Tony Yoka. Let's proceed. Carlos Takama, I'm saying no. Too much experience. Too much of a risk when you're trying to build a cat. Jarrell Miller. They want him in against Jarrell Miller. I say no. Jarrell, once again, 26 fights, too much experience. Too much experience with fighting and too much experience with performance-enhancing compounds. Look at this here. Jalalov, I ain't seen him enough. I ain't seen Jalalov enough. So I don't know. He's at 12. He's only at 12, but he's in the top 26. So that's interesting. Fabio Wardley is 25 in these rankings. And he's on 16 fights. That's one more than Jared Anderson. That ain't going to happen. Both of them in the development stage. That ain't going to happen. His last Kubrat Pulev. Highly experienced. 29 fights, 29 wins, 3 losses. His last fight was a loss to Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora, once again, too experienced. His last loss was to Tyson Fury. Tottenham Hotspur, OMG. Daniel Dubois, 18 wins, 1 loss to Joe Joyce. His last fight was a win against Kevin Lerena, but he touched the floor around 3 times. He had some knee. His knee popped. Ajit Pabial, 23, too experienced. Ali Demarizian. Who's that guy? I don't know if he's known in the US, although his last fight was a win against Adam Kawanaki in, when was that? That was July the 30th, 2020. What's that? That's almost a year ago, 11 months. That was against Adam Kawanaki in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. But I don't know how many people know him, but 17 fights, 17 wins, 1 loss. Ali Demarizian. Is he a bit too complete? Where's he from? Turkey. He's from Turkey. Turkey, where people are going to get the turkey teeth. Maybe Ali Demarizian. Or is he too complete? Yeah, so Demarizian. Let's put Demarizian in there. He's on 17 fights. Let's have a look. Demarizian. You have to excuse the spelling. Let's have a look. What's going on? Okay. So, as we move, Murat Gassiev, 30 wins, 1 loss. No, maybe too experienced. Wow, F.A. Jagba's only had 17 fights. 16 wins, 1 loss. I say no. It seems like he's been at it for years. Arslanbek Makhmudov. Only had a couple more fights than Big Baby. Is it a bit of a risk? Wow. Or Big Baby Martin Bakoli. He's only had 3-4 more fights than Jared Anderson. So everybody else is above him. They're out of the question. How many fights did I make? I only made 2 fights. We gotta scroll back. Let's see. Scroll back. Let's see. Let's find somebody. Got Tony Yoka. Who's this guy? Leon Piro from Cuba. Could be a problem. Why we go with Jack Jalalov? Uzbekistan. Why not? We gotta find some people for him. Jalalov. I don't know it. Jalalov. Okay. Let's see if we can find one more. One more sensible matchup. The top 30. No, that's it. Those are the 3. Those are the 3 picks. Those are the 3 picks. So let's go with that. Let's ask the community. The poll is up. Who next for Jared Anderson? Tony Yoka, Demarisian, or Jalalov? Those are the options. Those are the options. The poll is up. Have at it. Okay. Okay, let me check this shizzle. Let me check what's going on. Let's have a look. Okay, the poll has been up for a couple minutes and nobody's voted yet. OMG. Let's see how long it takes somebody to vote. Let's see how long. 1 minute to go, 60 seconds, and no one's voted. Okay, one person's voted. It took a minute. Okay. Let me have a look. Let's go into the back door, see what's going on with the analytics. Let's do a little check. Let us see what is going on. Okay, the Charles Martin video is going well. How's that? Yeah, we got some people viewing that. What's going on? The Savannah Marshall beats Franchon Cruz. Okay, still getting traffic on that. Martin gives Anderson a scare. Whyte signs for Joshua Dame. It's a good thing I read the title. I could have forgot about that. That's, yeah, okay. We got some people up in there. Otto Valin says Fury is holding up the division. For those who don't know, Fury is reputed to be fighting Francis Ngannou, ex-UFC heavyweight champion. Okay. So the analytics are looking nice overall, more so for the videos. Charles Martin video seems to be a hit right now. Let's get your votes in. Hit that like button. Let's have a looky. Let's see what's going on. Still looking at the analytics. Okay. Let's have a look over here. Okay, marveloso. Very nice. So let's shut down some windows, shall we? What's going on? What's going on? Well, let's get rid of that for a start. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Okay. Let's bring up 2, 4, 6. Let's bring up the Dillian Whyte thing. Shall we bring up the Dillian Whyte thing? Shall we bring up the Dillian Whyte thing? It's in the title. I simply must. Okay. Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte. Let's have a look. Let's go news. Let's go news. Okay. Daily Mail says that Whyte signs agreement to face Anthony Joshua. That's the Daily Mail. Talk Sport says no. They ain't saying nothing about that. Okay. Okay, so Sky Sports 2 days ago say Anthony Joshua's rematch with Dillian Whyte edges close after Whyte signs agreement. Okay, Talk Sports say Anthony Joshua on verge of deals to fight Dillian Whyte in August, then Deontay Wilder in December. Okay, let's go with Sky. Let's go with the Sky article. Reject all. There we are. Let's bring this. Let's share this. Am I sharing? Okay, I am sharing. Okay. Remember, the poll is up. Get your votes in the poll. Okay, so let's have a look. Where are we? Okay, Anthony Joshua's rematch with Dillian Whyte edges close after Whyte signs agreement. Okay, so talk resumed. Let's get this resized. Talks resumed last week for Anthony Joshua to fight Dillian Whyte in a heavyweight rematch at the O2 London, August 12th, with the bout now edging closer to an official announcement after Whyte signs and returns the requested agreement. Okay. Whyte has signed the requested agreement for a rematch. Okay. Edges closer. Joshua reacted to a late request for a rematch clause in his favor earlier this week, removing a significant. Joshua retracted a late request for a rematch clause in his favor earlier this week, removing a significant hurdle. And negotiations now appear complete ahead of the planned fight at the O2 in London, August 12th. Okay. Whyte revealed how late requests for a one-way rematch clause in Joshua's favor had complicated talks for the fight after Whyte had agreed to the original terms. Okay, so Joshua withdrew Joshua withdrew the rematch clause. Although it doesn't, does it say that? I've been notified for fighting Joshua since the day I lost to him in 2015. I'd love nothing more to have a chance to avenge my defeat. I just want a war. I want to go to war because I think that's a good way to fight him, pressure him, back him up, start getting him on the back foot as early as possible. I'm strong enough. I'm big enough to do that. I carry enough power, obviously, to back him up and knock him out. Why didn't you back up and knock out Tyson Fury then? Why didn't you back up and knock out Tyson Fury then? No reason for a rematch clause in the fight, to be fair. Yeah, Joshua's took it out. Well, there is a reason for a rematch clause. But Joshua's took it out. What's this? Okay. That was a fairly flimsy article. Joshua took out the rematch clause. And so now it appears it's systems a go. Systems a go. What's going on? 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago, what's the time? Okay, been on for 1 minute, 1 hour, 23. Time is it? Okay, damn, we started early and looks like we're going to get an early finish too. Excellente. Okay, and get your, a matter of fact, I'm not even going to ask people to get their votes in. We're going to close the poll. No messing around. Boom, boom, boom. Keep it moving. Okay, who next? Let's share that. Who next for Jared Anderson? Jalalov, people said 0%. The Merizian, I'm sure there should be an R in there. People, 33% of respondents said yay. But Tony Yoka was the overwhelming favorite with 66% of the votes. What's the chance of getting Tony Yoka over to the UFC after 2 losses? I mean, the USA after 2 losses, minimal. So the Merizian looks to be the most likely of the two. Okay, so developing. That's what Jared Anderson, that's what program Jared Anderson has to be on. That's what he's got to be on. And let's look. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Let's get that thing back up that I closed. Let's get that back up. Let's get some news in. Let's get some more news in. And let's share that. Let's give it to the people. Give it to the people. Boom. Okay. You see what I can see? You see what I can see? It's Arslanbek. Makhmudov. 17-0, 16 KOs. WBC ranked number 5. The Rusky fighting out to Montreal, Canada. Montreal. I wonder if he's learning French or English. Montreal. Okay, so he took care. What's that cat's name? Of Raphael Apenjori from Nigeria. He took care of him, took him out in 2 rounds. He relocated to Montreal at the age of 17, and he appears to have a pronounced nervous tic. You see him in the ring, ticking away, you know, and the neck twitching away, ticking away. What is this? Took him out in 2 rounds. Took him out in 2 rounds. Yeah. That looks better. He wasted little time to make an impression in his U.S. debut. Wow, that was U.S. debut? That was his U.S. debut. I didn't realize that. Dang, he's 34. What the hell is this? The man is 34, 4 years of age. And he's only on what? On his 17th fight? What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? How many fights has he had? "17 fights. He's 34 years old and he's only on his 17th fight. How the hell does that work? What the hell's all that about?" Okay, so Makhmudov floored his fellow unbeaten heavyweight. Oh, so Raphael Ajapori was also unbeaten. Well, dang. He didn't look very good to me. Looked terrible, actually. Looked absolutely terrible. Talking about Raphael Ajapori. Akipori. Makhmudov floored him twice in the opening round, and then one final time to force a stoppage at 1 minute 43 of round 2 in their ESPN televised co-feature Saturday night from the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio. Okay, so Makhmudov didn't waste any time to impose his will on the 6'8" Akipori. The Russian, who relocated to Montreal when he was 17, was clumsy but effective with his power shots, which produced 2 knockdowns in the opening round. Akipori, a multi-sport athlete from Nigeria who lives in Miami and is trained by former light heavyweight champion Glenn Johnson, beat the count, who was on steady legs. Akipori looked terrible. Makhmudov continued the attack until the rubbery-legged Akipori, 15-1, with 14 KOs, hit the canvas for the 3rd and final time. It came midway through round 2 and produced the end of the fight. The win advances Makhmudov's record to 17-0, 16 KOs, as he prevailed in his first fight in the USA. All but 2 of his knockouts have come inside 3 rounds. Wow. All but 2 of his knockouts have come inside 3 rounds. Okay. Well, that's Makhmudov, 17-0 and 34 years old with a nervous tic. Very interesting. Very interesting. OMG. We've come up to 1 hour, 30 minutes. What do I think about Makhmudov? Yeah, he looks big and strong, but 17 fights, got a lot of developing to do. How the hell did he manage to be only at 17 fights at the age of 34? Well. I think he gets knocked out by the top guys. Where's he ranked? Let's have a look. I think he gets knocked out by the top guys. But let's have a look where he's ranked. Oh, he's ranked 16. Okay, so the likes of, I'd like to see him against F.A. Jagba. He's got 17 fights also. Atul Valin is a good fight. Gassiev's a good fight. Lots of good fights for him. Ajit Kabayal, a good fight. Lots of good fights for him in the heavyweight division. I'd like to see him more because he does have destructive power, but I fear he's going to get flat packed. There's quite a few guys who can flat pack him in the heavyweight division, but he's big, he's imposing. I'll be happy to see more of him. More than happy to see more of him. He was ruthless. He was ruthless, but he looks like a big stiff duster to me. He can knock some unskilled guys out. Akipori looked absolutely terrible. He can knock you out if you stand up there, but if you got some back boxing skill, which I saw none of from Akipori, I'm sure he does have some, but he just didn't. Listen, the guy is obviously gassier. I mean, Makhmudov is obviously a heavy hitter, but you gotta have techniques in there. You gotta have some strategy in there. It seemed like Akipori didn't know his head from his ass in there. Didn't know his head from his ass. Akipori. Somebody with some boxing skills who's not going to be intimidated by this big bruiser of a fellow who's just going to go in there and box. I think he knocks Makhmudov into next week. You know, you can't build muscles on your chin. He's heavily muscled like a shot putter. I'd like to see him in there with somebody a bit more fluid. He's definitely not worse than Alan Babic. No way. He's better than Alan Babic. At least he seemed to have a system, but he seems big and stiff, and looks like he's ready to get knocked out. But there's lots of good matchups in there because he looks like a proper bruiser, and he does come with power. So I look forward to seeing more of him. He's a dangerous guy, no doubt about it. But if you go in there with boxing skills, you can touch that big ass chin. So I look forward to seeing more of him. Absolutement. Rafael Ajikori, nah. I think he trains with Wilder. Isn't he from out of Florida? Trains out of Florida. Wilder's down in Florida right now. Yeah, I think they do quite a bit together, or have done historically. He's one of Wilder's training partners. Another big stiff dusser. Okay. So where are we? That big bruiser, Makhmudov versus Chisora. Good Lord, I hope Chisora just retires. You don't need to be taking any more. It's the chin, although it seems to be bearing up proper, well. But no, younger guys. Who would I have for Makhmudov? Well, Otto Wally might be a bit overmatched for him. Certainly, definitely. Hey, get him in there with Bakoli. Makhmudov. What about Makhmudov versus Jared Anderson? Hey, I like that one. Makhmudov versus Jared Anderson. Absolutely, why not? Let's go down. Bakoli, Makhmudov, I'll be cool with. Jared Anderson, Makhmudov, I'll be cool with. F.I.A. Jagba, Makhmudov, I'd be cool. I'd love to see that. Oris Gassiev is on 30 fights. That might be too much. Kozabutsky. Wasn't this the guy who was supposed to fight Jared Anderson, but he got called off? Something about a visa or something. Put him in with Kozabutsky. Demarisian. Is he from Turkey? Yeah, put him in with that. There's loads of fights for him. Ajit Kabayal, 23, 17. Maybe, yeah, why not? Daniel Dubois is fighting for a world championship fight, so he's won 2 fights more than him, but he's fighting for a world championship against Usyk in Poland. Chisora, I wish he'd retire. Kubrat Pulev, where's he from? Bulgaria. Sophie, Bulgaria. A lot of experience. Has he retired yet? Last fight was a loss to Derek Chisora. Yeah, put him in with Kubrat Pulev. Put him in with Kubrat. He's got a lot more experience than Garcia, but if Makhmudov, but if Makhmudov wants it, then hey. Fabio Wardley, now they're not going to clash right now on different paths, both coming up. Jalalov, only 12 fights. Jarrell Big Belly Miller, 26 fights. Hey, yeah, if Garcia wants it, why not? Carlos Takam, too much experience. Yeah, so put him in with some of these cats around him. Put him in with Martin Bakoli, Jared Anderson, F.A. Ajagba, Kozubutsky, Demarizian, Ajit Kabayal. There's fights there for him. There's fights there for him. There's fights there for him. Okay. What are we doing now? Let me go and check. Let me check the what's going on with the stats. Okay, let's have a look. The Charles Martin video, doing well. Savannah Marshall versus Franchon Cruz. Yeah, still trickling in. Martin gives Anderson a scare. That's this one. Otto Wallin says Fury is holding up the division. It's going a bit slow, but you know, these things pick up. Marshall KO's Femke Herman. Okay, people are going back to old Marshall videos. They're seeing the new one. They want to go back and reminisce. What's this here? Okay, that's good. John. What are we saying now? We're going into overtime. Who is Dave Allen fighting? Is it Fury or perhaps Woodley or Johnny Fisher? I mean, I don't know why that cat, Dave Allen, why that cat's hanging around. Didn't he retire? Hasn't he retired a couple of times? What the hell is he doing? I don't know what that cat is doing. Let's come out to that. Don't think we got any polls going at the moment. And let's talk about Savannah Marshall. Let's have a little bit talk about Savannah Marshall. You know the Rafi don't particularly rate the women's game because the talent pool is too shallow. It's a relatively new sport, relatively at the highest level. It's relatively new. The talent pool is too shallow. It's like swimming in the shallow end. But Savannah Marshall is one of the exceptions. Trains out of Peter Fury's gym. And you can say what you want about Peter Fury, but he can't train boxers. He can't train people to box. Oi, what's going on here, Savannah? Don't you turn your back on me, girl. Say what you want about Peter Fury, but he can't train boxers. He can't train people to box a little bit. You know what I mean? And so gotta give him credit for that. Don't you turn your back on me, gal. So Savannah Marshall, one of the exceptions to the rule when it comes to women's boxing. So what we're saying here, all respect to Savannah and Clarissa, but I agree with you, Raphael. It's hard to get excited for a division with only 15 ranked. I will never be that big of a fan of women's boxing. No, I hear what you're saying, and I can't be. The talent pool's too small. Swimming in the shallow end. with your feet touching the ground. OMG. Just like swimming in the shallow end, mate. It's ridiculous. But I give credit to certain women. Savannah Marshall is one of them. And, of course, Clarissa Shields, of course, she know how to box. Franchon Cruz, on the other hand, no. Sorry. Very, very sorry, but no. She's terrible. No disrespect, my dear. Absolutely bloody terrible. She boxes for about 30 seconds per round, and she clinches for around 60 seconds per round. That leaves another 30 seconds, and then it's just freestyling. But she only boxes for around 30 seconds per round. Maybe she boxed a little bit more earlier. Maybe she boxed for about 45 seconds per round in the earlier rounds. Remember, these gals are only going 2 minutes. That's 120 seconds. Yeah, but Franchon Cruz only boxes for a small portion of that. Only a small portion of that. So I knew, I was comfortable, I was confident that she was going to get handily outboxed by Savannah Marshall. But you know, maybe I'm being a bit harsh, because watching the replay, she did clip Savannah with some nice shots. So maybe I'm being a bit harsh. I think maybe on the replay, watching the replay, maybe I'm being a tad harsh. But still, I stand by my statement. The talent pool is low. Let's have a look. Imagine they said that Jared Anderson would knock out. They love to do that. They love to disparage Joshua. I could go deep. I could go in deep about the disparaging statements made about Joshua. I could go deep in on it. Let me take a sip of what's in my cup. I'll put it like this. Deontay Wilder over in America, Deontay Wilder, they build him up, they both smoke up his ass, but I said it before and I'll say it again. Sometimes a lie becomes the truth, because Deontay Wilder's got so many people pumping him up, gassing him up and telling him that yes, he can. Whereas over here, Anthony Joshua just got a bunch of naysayers, the whole of the press, the bulk of the press. They're slobbering on Tyson Fury. Even now, when the public are many of the public are turning against Fury because of his antics. If you want to hear about his latest antics, check out my video about Tyson Fury. Looks like he's going to be having an exhibition match with Francis Ngannou from the UFC. And Otto Wallin, in my latest video, Otto Wallin is talking about, I think Tyson Fury is the problem. But over here, the press wanna slobber on him. I am not one of them. You know, the public, certain sections of the public want to downgrade him. They want to downgrade him, and so you get this negativity. You get a wave of negativity, and negativity begets negativity. So you get a negative cycle loop. And so I don't blame him getting himself away, getting himself over stateside. Where is he? In Texas. Over in Texas, training with Derek James and them mans. Get away from the negativity. Whereas in contrast, compare and contrast that with your Deontay Wilder. He got himself cocooned with just pure positivity around him. Yes, you can. Yes, you can mentality. That's why I think he should have got rid of McCracken a long time ago, because McCracken looks like he's on antidepressants. How are you going to have someone inspire you when they're on antidepressants? I don't know. No disrespect to antidepressants. But how you gonna how that gonna work? You know, don't seem like an inspirational character. McCracken carried him as far as he could, and he should have jettisoned McLaren. Thank you. Give him a handshake. He's already earned probably millions off training AJ. So he's definitely been compensated. But Joshua should have moved on a long time ago. Maybe that's a lesson that he's got to learn because he ain't a kid no more. He's like, what, 33? Man's 33. He ain't a kid no more. So you got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him, know when to walk away, know when to run. And he should have left McCracken years ago. What do you call him? Lennox Lewis told Joshua, yeah, yo, when you're in high school, you have your high school lecturer. When you graduate to university, you need a university lecturer. But Joshua was hard-headed and didn't listen. And now he's got to put up with a bunch of naysayers, a bunch of slobber knocking press who have their own agenda and slobbering on Fury and highly disparaging of Joshua, not taking into account that when Fury took his steroids and had to disappear, said he was retired and all that crap. It was Joshua who flew the flag. But what thanks does he get for that? Not much. From certain quarters of the press, not much. He got rushed when he should have been graduating, and he was in a title fight, or what, the 18th fight, 19th fight? How many fights did Joshua have before he went for his first title fight? Let's have a little looky. Let's scroll back. Anthony Joshua. So, he's yeah, that's it. Let's scroll back. He's had Anthony Joshua right now is a two-time. It's kind of funny because Joshua's a two-time champion already, and Deontay Wilder had not even fought for his first title fight until he was what? So he was about 30 fights, 33 fights, 35, 33 fights. Let's have a little looky. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so Joshua's at 28 fights, 3 losses, 1 KO. Who's that against? Andreas the Punch Ruiz. 25 fights, so he's on 28 fights right now. And Deontay Wilder hadn't even had his first title fight at 28 fights. How you like them apples? But let's have a look. How many fights did he have before? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's madness. Anthony Joshua fought for his first world title on 16 fights. 16 fights. That's crazy, yo. Let me do a recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let that sink in. Now, we're talking about baby and big baby Jared Anderson, who I think is on 15 fights. Anthony Joshua is fighting for a world title at 16 fights. He don't get no credit for that. 16 fights. Don't get no credit for that. We got these cats up here, 16, 20, 25 fights, still developing. Anthony Joshua was fighting for a world title at 16 fights. (16, 17, 18, 19, and 19 fights. He was fighting Vladimir Klitschko at Wembley. Then you got some dusters like Carl Froch, shit eaters like Carl Froch, with a shit eating grin like Carl Froch, disparaging a man who fought for the world championship at 16 fights, 17, 18, 19, and was fighting one of the greats, Vladimir Klitschko, at 19 fights. the experienced Carlos Takam, the 20, fight number 20. Fight number 21, the all-rounder, good all-rounder, Joseph Parker. This was back in 2018. That was fight 21. 22, Alexander Povetkin, high caliber, Olympian. I think he was a WBA regular champion. Oh, that 21, 22. And then, of course, the banana skin with Andy Ruiz. Corrected that in the rematch. Short notice fight, not motivated, disappointed, possibly concussed. In training, not motivated at all. But he corrected that in 20. And then the 23rd fight. Is it 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th? 9 fights yet. Oh, that would have been the 28th. Against Jermaine Franklin, 28. 27 against Alexander Usyk. Pretty decent showing. That's 27. 26, Alexander Usyk. What is it? Undisputed at cruiserweight. Trying to get undisputed at heavyweight, but we've got a big dusser called by the name of Tyson Fury. I refuse to call him Tyson, now call him Luke Fury. Got a big dusser standing in the Ukrainian dancer's way. What's that? What's that? 28, 27, 26, 25. Kubrat Pulev, 24. Ruiz, the second one, 23. The first one, Andy Ruiz, who had already fought for the WBO championship in a tightly contested fight with Joseph Parker down under, New Zealand, or was it in Australia? Somewhere down there. Somewhere down them side, Southern Hemisphere. Alexander Povetkin, and they tried to write this man off. The man who fought and won a title fight against Charles Martin in his 16th fight, when effectively he's just developing. It's considered to be only a baby. Only a baby. It's only a baby. But gets no credit. You know what I mean? Seems like the more you do for people, the less you get back. That's when you learn to be, you have to be a little bit selfish in this life. Got to be a little bit selfish in this life. Let me just do a quick analysis. Check the ballistic, check the statistics before we shut this baby down. What's going on there? What's going on there? What's going on there? Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good, y'all. Okay. So, seems busy up in the analytics. Seems good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good, y'all. It's good, y'all. Okay, let's get back into what we're into. We know what they mean. We know what they mean. Okay, so I was talking about Savannah Marshall. Can't forget Savannah. Let's give her her props. Where is she? There she is. Let's give her props. Let's get her up on the screen. Let's get her up on the screen. So congratulations to, what the hell was that? Didn't mean to do that. Never pressed that button before. Okay, so she took on Franchon Cruz, who I didn't really give a chance. She only boxes for 30 seconds around, 45-second max, and then the rest is wrestling, grappling, with a bit of WWF, you know. And then she sang she sang her national anthem at the fight, just before a fight, which I think is bloody ludicrous. I question the body fat levels on Franchon Cruz. It suggests to me that she's heavier than she needs to be. She should be dropping down to middleweight. Why is she a super middleweight? Is it because Clarissa Shields is down there? I think so. That don't look like a highly trained athlete to me, carrying too much body fat unnecessarily. But I think Clarissa Shields is the reason why she's up there. She shouldn't be a super heavyweight. Look at the height. Look at the height. Look at the height disparity. She should be down at middleweight. You know what I mean? But fair play to her. She's got a paycheck. She came over here knowing she was going to lose her belt as far as I was concerned. She talked a lot, but to me, that was just to disguise. She sang lovely. She sang beautifully. She sang beautifully. But is that the way you're going to go into a fight? Singing your national anthem when you should be focused on tearing your opponent's head off? When you should be focused on your technique, on your techniques, on your game plan? Yeah, the counter argument today is that she's had months of that plan, to focus on the game plan. It's just 30 seconds to sing the national anthem. I say no. I say forget that. Focus on the job in hand. Yeah, you got a nice singing voice, but this ain't the time. Go and try, it's not the time to try and get a recording contract. She's a singer. Apparently she's a clothes designer. She designs her own clothes and everything, and then she's a boxer as well. Well, hey, you know what I mean? You got to one thing at a time. You designed your own costume, and then you're singing, and then now you're gonna box as well. No, it's too much. It don't really matter because Savannah was always gonna beat you. Savannah is a boxer. She's one of the few female boxers that can actually box. You know what I mean? So you got to give her credit for that. Got to give her credit for that. But hey, what can I say? Savannah was always gonna win. That's the way I see it. Cruiser only fights for about 45 seconds per round max. Only boxes, and that ain't good enough. So sets up. Cruiser's really muscular. It was like seeing a female. I don't know. I think she's got too much body fat. She's got too much body fat. I don't really see that as muscle. She got muscle as well, but it's covered in body fat. Why is that body fat there? It's unnecessary. Why she got all that body fat? Look at that. I ain't gonna body shame. Not here to body shame anybody. But not here to body shame anybody. But where are we? Where's the shot that I'm looking for? What's going on? What's going on? Where's the shot? What's going on? This place is jumping this thing's jumping all over the place. Damn. Okay. So I'm seeing too much body fat. Seeing too much body fat. What's these folds? Supposed to be a top athlete. Look at these folds. Not here to body shame. Not here to body shame. But no, that there shouldn't be no folds there as a top athlete. The reason she's carrying extra fat is my hypothesis. My hypothesis is the reason she's carrying so much body fat is because Clarissa Shields is at middleweight. And so she's fighting a heavier weight to avoid Clarissa Shields. Well, get rid of the body fat, go down to middleweight and fight at your proper weight. You're fighting at a weight class which is too heavy. She's not heavy enough to be fighting at super middleweight. You should be. In fact, I reckon she could get down to junior middleweight if she cut off the fat, and she would be arguably more effective. But then she's going up against better competition. It's a conundrum. I understand. She gets down to where she should be, optimal weight, which would be middleweight, if not junior middleweight, and she'd be ripped. That's where she should be. But if she gets down there, then she's fighting better quality of opponent. So that's problematic. But yeah, she's carrying too much body fat for my taste. That's not optimal at all. Not optimal at all, but I'm not here to body shame. Not here to body shame. It just ain't good enough. And I knew she was just coming here to lose her belts. She ain't good enough. Well, she did put in a good spell, but Savannah's just too much of a pure boxer. Too much of a good boxer for her. So I knew it wasn't going to end well. It wasn't going to end well. I mean, Cruz DeZern looks like she's like out of season. When she's in boxing shape, she looks as if she's in out of season shape. You know what I mean? Out of season. Charge one for treason. No disrespect to Cruz DeZern, but nah, carrying too much body fat. But I understand why. I understand why. Okay. So, is there anything else I need to touch on? We've gone way over time. Way over time. No? Think I've done it? Think I've done it. Yeah, she already lost to her. That's why she's gone up. Already lost to her. That's why she's gone up. Why she's gone up in weight. But that's not where she should be. You know what I mean? You should see some semblance of a six-pack there. She's fighting at heavyweight to avoid Clarissa, who she's already lost to. I think she lost to her in the amateurs as well. But hey, what can one say? What can one say? We've done it. I think we've covered everything we were supposed to. It's probably why she's at that weight. Yeah. It's why she's fighting heavier than she should be, but it's not optimal. You know what I'm saying? She's an athlete. She's a paid athlete. She should be. There's no reason why she shouldn't be ripped. She should be ripped, mate. She could easily lose 14 pounds. Easily. There's no doubt in my mind. She should. Her optimal weight would be junior middleweight. Truth be told, she could go. She should really be fighting 2 weight classes below. You know, if it was a man, you know what I mean? It'd be 2 weight classes down below. But the talent pool in women's boxing is so shallow. You know, you move up a couple of weight classes and you're away. You're away from the problem girls. Fury wants too much money to fight Usyk and AJ. He'd rather wants an easy paydays against Ngannou. Damn shame. Hey, it's more than a shame. It's a damn disgrace. Damn disgrace. Imagine I said Jared Anderson would knock out AJ out, and now he struggles with AJ's leftovers. Yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. A lot of people should have eggs on their face, especially some of our friends stateside. So listen, man, Jared Anderson would knock AJ soft ass out cold. Yeah, AJ was fighting for a world championship at 16 fights. Jared Anderson is getting in all kinds of trouble with Jared Anderson's going life and death. He's going on life and death with Charles Martin. Somebody Anthony Joshua took out in how many rounds? How many rounds did it take for Anthony Joshua to get Charles Martin out of there? And a better Charles Martin as well, a younger, fresher, hungrier, a world champion Charles Martin. And Joshua knocked his ass out in 2 rounds. I think some of our Yankee Doodle Dandy friends, Anthony Joshua, a severe and a deep need apology. Some of our Yankee Doodle Dandy friends who were saying that the Jared Anderson starches Anthony Joshua. Some of our Yankee Doodle Dandy friends. AJ's leftovers, Martin, sure, Jared. Yeah, I guarantee that an in shape would KO him. Yeah, of course. Of course, Joshua KOs Jared Anderson. KOs him viciously. It wouldn't even be funny. It wouldn't be nice. Viciously. You know, over in America, on Jared's homeland, old soil. You know, some of our Yankee Doodle Dandy friends who have been highly disparaging of Joshua, they should give him a deep need apology. A deep bow. Jared Anderson's on his 15th fight, going life and death with Charles Martin. And Anthony Joshua dispatched Charles Martin in 2 rounds. And what was the year? In 2016. That was a younger Jared. That was a younger Charles Martin. 2016. What are we talking about? We're talking about 3 + 4. That's 7. 7 years ago when Charles Martin was a world champion and Anthony Joshua treated him with disdain. Got him out of there in 2 rounds with pure disdain. And then some of our Yankee Doodle Dandy friends got the nerve, got the audacity, got the temerity, talking out the side of your neck saying Jared Anderson takes care of Anthony Joshua's soft ass. Yeah, you better bow down deeply. A deep knee bow apology. You owe to that man. Is it Franklin fighting on the 12th? Looking forward to the fight. Franklin, which Franklin? Which Franklin? The 12th? He's still on the card? The 12th of August? Who's Franklin fighting? The 12th of August or the 12th of July? What's going on? Let me have a look. What are people saying? Arslan back. Let's have a look. Boxing. What's the date? It's the 4th. Shizzle, my nizzle. It's the 4th already. Shankle, my uncle. So this week, Saturday is the 8th. There's a date on that shit. So Saturday coming is the 8th. Next Saturday is the 15th. So what's that? The 12th would be a midweek. It's a midweek fight. Midweek fight. Is that so? Is that so? Okay. So what's going on? Prime Charles Martin. Well, when was he in his prime? If it wasn't then, when was he in his prime? If it wasn't when he was world champion, you know what I mean? Oh, it's fighting on 12th of August. Okay, 12th of August. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, when was he in his prime? If it wasn't when he was champion, I mean. Yeah, not a problem. But yeah, I mean, that's it. We're gone overtime. And so that's it. What is it? 11 o'clock p.m. over here in the UK. I think I've done everything I set out to do. I think I've given the people everything that I should have given. I think I gave everything that I should have given, and now I got to have a late night snack. I got to get some protein in my system. Thank you for everybody who took time out of your day to come over here to the RDCR and join in the discussion. For sure, go check out the videos. Got some interesting array of videos out there right now. So go check them out. You know, yeah, there should be more people in here, but hey, some people can't handle the truth, and that's all you get over here. No fluffing, nobody sucking farts out to bigger channels to get them to come over and try and leverage off that. You know what I'm saying? I just give it to you straight. No ass kissing, no sucking farts out of bigger channels. So, you know, we get by naturally aspirated. No ass licking, no fart sucking, just straight. You know what I mean? Just straight. And it is what it is. Just naturally aspirated, no duplicity, no going around, no bushes, no kissing, no ass, no BSing, You know what I'm saying? No pirating, no stealing, no theft, just originality and creativity. And if people don't like that, well, they can just go swivel. And those are my final words. So Raphael Dawkins, Comeback Radio. Blessed.